Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's New Year's Day. I've been better.
Katie's hanging in there.
Yeah.
We are also mere hour and a half from kickoff of the Sugar Bowl. So when you see us next, we will either be very devastated or very happy.
For those who don't know, we both went to Texas.
Yes.
So I hope the future us editing this tomorrow, I hope we are happy people.
I hope so too. We were together last night though, doing our normal New Year's Eve
Shenanigans.
Yeah, I guess they're normal. We didn't do a whole lot. We played games with our friend Tess and her husband and watched Taylor Swift.
Hello, Tess, a friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, Tess. But yeah, Katie's been better.
I have been better. We had 4 bottles of champagne and I think we drank all of them.
I think we did.
Oh, no, I stopped one up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's mostly full.
All right. Well, that's not too bad.
Nope.
3 across 5 people. And then
No.
we gave some to the neighbors.
We did give some to the neighbors.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been better, but it's okay.
It's okay. But today we are going to discuss more New Year's Eve content.
Yes. So we read The Rewind by Allison Winn Scotch, which came out last year. I got it through Book of the Month, but I don't think I got it as a Book of the Month. Like, I think it was an add-on.
Okay.
I don't know if it ever was like an actual like monthly pick or if it was just an add-on. I have no idea.
Okay. I forgot that it was part of Book of the Month in one way or the other, and you had been wanting to read this one.
Yeah, because I had seen, and I may be misremembering this, but I'm like 99% sure it was the Bad on Paper podcast gals raving about this one. It might have been another similarly bookish influencer type. It might have been like NYC Book Girl or something like that, but it was one of those like some New York book girlies.
Some New York book girlies.
Yeah. And so generally, I think it was the Bad on Paper girls, and because generally I like their recommendations. And so, yeah, I got it when I saw it as a Book of the Month add-on, and we considered doing it last year, but we took a break in January instead. So here we are.
Yeah, this is the first 50% New Year's episode.
Yeah.
Coming out January 3rd, but still counts.
Still counts.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Do you want to read the blurb?
Yes.
Yes, you have the print copy, so.
I do.
Which is a very pretty cover.
It is. It's very cute. It's 2 little clinking champagne glasses. Okay. When college sweethearts Frankie and Ezra broke up before graduation, they vowed never to speak to each other again. 10 years later, on the eve of the new millennium, they find themselves back on their snowy New England campus for the wedding of mutual friends. Frankie's on the rise as a music manager for the hottest bands of the late 90s, and Ezra's ready to propose to his girlfriend after the wedding. Everything is going to plan. They just have to avoid the chasm of emotions brought up when they inevitably come face to face. But when they wake up in bed next to each other the following morning with Ezra's grandmother's diamond on Frankie's finger, they have zero memory of how they got there or about any of the events that transpired the night before. Now Frankie and Ezra have to put aside old grievances in order to figure out what happened, what didn't happen, and to ask themselves the most troubling question of all: what if they both got it all wrong the first time around?
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So I love that this book happened on like Y2K New Year's Eve.
I did too.
I found that really funny.
Do you remember Y2K New Year's Eve?
Kind of, in that I remember like the news stories that week about like all the panic. Like I remember watching like TV news and like them talking about it.
Remind me what the panic was, that all the computers were going to like shut down.
Yeah, because of the flipping over to the new millennium date.
Which in hindsight sounds
silly.
Extremely goofy.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously it didn't happen. But yeah, it just, I don't think it was necessary that this book was set in 1999. It could have been set now or whenever, but it added a little flavor that I enjoyed.
New millennium, new century, new year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was fun. It's dual perspective.
kind of dual
Kind of.
timeline in a way too.
Yeah.
It's pretty directly dual perspective.
It's like dual timeline in that we just travel back like within their memories. We're not like taken back.
Right. It is a very introspective book.
Yes.
We are spending a lot of time with both of their thoughts.
Yeah.
Which you can either really like or really dislike, I think. There's not a lot of plot. There's
Right.
not a lot of stuff happening in the moment. It's a lot of them working through their feelings, their thought processes, processi, whatever.
And just being like, oh, this thing just happened in my current moment. That reminds me of this thing that happened back in college. And then we go back with them in their memory.
Yeah. So the book opens with them arriving on the college campus, which is Middleton real?
I don't know.
Okay, we don't care. They went to Middleton,
Yeah.
which is in New England somewhere. I don't
Yeah.
remember where. I don't care. Their friends, Alice and Connor,
I don't remember.
they don't even say anything directly in this book.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
there.
We don't really ever like meet them
No.
like in a real way. The couple that's getting married.
Yeah, which they're getting married on their college campus.
Yeah. Okay, but I love the idea. So the opening night party thing, welcome party or rehearsal or whatever you want to call it, is themed like dressing like your college self, basically.
See, I think I would like that if it wasn't at the college.
Yes, and if it wasn't at a wedding.
Yes.
Yeah. But I love, that's very funny to me.
That's a good party theme.
It really
Yes.
is, yeah.
And it was funny because Frankie was talking about how she was like pulling on her old Levi's and like her sweatshirt. And I was like, these are my clothes.
Exactly. Her Doc Martens
Yeah.
leather jacket. I was like, wow, fashion really is cyclical.
These are my clothes.
I own all these things.
Frankie is a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Alice is one of her good college friends. We really don't learn a lot about their friendship, which is one of the bummers I have with this book.
Yeah, we don't really get, like, there are a lot of side characters, but the relationships are not really like fleshed out.
Yeah. Not to get into review aspects too early, but we don't learn a lot about Frankie and Alice, but Frankie doesn't really want to be a bridesmaid, but she feels obligated to, and so she's there.
Yeah, she's like, Alice is a good friend and she's been there for me over the years, and like, yeah, we're not like super great friends anymore, but I get why she asked me, and like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
More or less. Which is nice.
Yeah, that is nice of Frankie.
Yeah.
Frankie is a former child prodigy at the piano.
Yeah.
Which I think we learned pretty early.
Yeah, it kind of it doesn't fully unravel for a while, but we learn that she is very musically talented, yet has not done anything with it, really, other than working in music, like managing bands.
She's a band manager mainly for a band called Night Vixen, which is a pretty good band name.
It is a good band name.
Yeah, a girl band.
Yeah.
In 99.
Yeah, they're like the girl band of the 90s, basically.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then Ezra has a girlfriend that he's planning on proposing to.
Her name is Mimi.
Yep. We don't meet her until much, much later. She's flying in the next day for the wedding.
Yeah. He lives in New York. So does Mimi. Mimi works in online dating.
Yeah, she has like a Match.com kind of company.
It's called Datafy.
Yeah.
And books that are set in the past, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't, where it's like, it's talking about stuff that is clearly a thing now, where it's like, that's never gonna work out, ha ha ha.
Right.
And they say that with like online dating,
Right.
which Katey and I both met our significant others through online dating.
It's true. But that is what people thought of it back then. So I think it's like fairly historically accurate.
That's probably fair. My mom and my stepdad met on Match.com in 2003.
Yeah, my dad and his partner met, I think, on Match, maybe on one of them.
I don't know a lot of people who organically met. We live in the future. But anyway, there's like funny asides with things like Google and where it's like stupid name, Google, which like sure Google's a stupid name, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, Mimi works for a dating site. Ezra at this point we think is like a lawyer.
Yeah,
we're not
we haven't
positive.
learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know that he's like fairly well off.
Yeah. I mean, he lives in New York.
Yeah.
And doesn't seem to be like scrounging for pennies anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. We think he's a lawyer at this point because I think law school gets mentioned or something.
Frankie says something like Alice told her at one point, like, oh, Ezra's done with law school or whatever. And so she just like assumed.
Yeah, yeah.
So
we think he's a lawyer. We find out later that he's like a tech guru.
He like, yeah. And
he created and sold a company, basically.
He's a card shark.
Yeah, that's really funny.
We'll talk about that more.
Yes, I kind of loved that little personality quirk.
I kind of did too.
I found it very charming.
Okay, we'll talk about that more when it comes a little bit more relevant. But anyway, so they are going to this welcome party rehearsal dinner or whatever, which is in like their old school library. I think the couple also works on the college campus, which I'm like, okay, this is making like slightly more sense, but why would you want to get married at your workplace?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go rent a venue.
Yeah.
I don't care how good of a deal you got.
Yeah. I don't know.
No. But whatever. We're not here to question them.
Yeah.
So they run into each other like immediately in the elevator.
Yeah, like Ezra walks out of his hotel room and bam.
Yeah.
Frankie.
Yeah. As much as they were like, we're going to avoid each other. And then like immediately.
And then cut to black.
To black.
Yeah, they wake up together the next morning in a twin-size bed in what we soon learn is Ezra's old dorm room.
Crazy.
That Ezra obviously does not live in. Someone else does.
Wouldn't it be funny if he did still live in it? That's a reveal.
And we meet who lives there later, which is a side character that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, she was funny.
She was super funny.
So they wake up in this twin bed, and neither of them can remember what happened. Ezra because he got super drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie because...
has a head injury.
I'm angry about this.
Yeah.
Like, Frankie is like, I can't remember anything, and I have this huge knot on the back of my head. I'm pretty sure I have a concussion. Girl.
Yeah.
Go to the hospital.
Yeah.
This is like the first one when somebody had a head injury and like lied to it. That was the holiday swap, which I quit reading because I got so mad.
Yeah.
This one I'm like, what? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go seek medical attention.
Yeah. And we learned that like her friends tried to take her to the hospital and she was like, no. Like, I don't need any of that. But still,
if I ever have that severe of a fall and hit the back of my head and try to insist I'm not going to the hospital, drag my ass to the hospital.
Exactly.
Do not listen to me.
To be fair, I think this is mentioned in the book, I think Ezra eventually is like, if I hadn't been so drunk, I would have forced you to go.
Yeah.
I think he says something along those lines.
Yeah.
But he being clearly the only responsible person in this friend group was too drunk to do so.
Yes. Regardless, guys, get it together. Head injuries are very serious. PSA, if you hit your head, go to the hospital.
Yeah. And also, they're like, did we sleep together? We don't think so. We're kind of half clothed, not super sure. We never figure out if they actually did do it.
No, we do. They didn't sleep together.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Turns out later on we learned they didn't have sex.
Yeah.
Even though there were condoms under the bed.
Yeah. Which I guess might have just...
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a plot hole, whatever.
But they're wearing rings.
Yeah. Frankie is wearing the engagement ring that Ezra intends to give to his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Mimi. But it's like stuck on her finger. It's like too small for her, I guess.
This would have sent me into like a full-blown panic attack.
Yes.
And she wears it all day.
Yeah. And then he wears his all day because she's like, if I have to wear this, so do you, which is valid.
Yeah.
I would probably do that too, just to be like, if I'm in this hellscape, you're here with me.
So are you. Yeah. It's kind of funny logic, but I'm like, you know what? I get it. You're right.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly. So really what ensues is just a day of them trying to piece together what happened. Like this whole book basically takes place in one day.
Yeah. It's The Hangover.
Yeah.
But two people.
Yeah.
Who may have gotten married.
Yes.
Or maybe not. They think they may have gotten married because one of their friends is officiating the wedding.
And is ordained, yeah. Because they were like, we're not in Vegas. Like, how could we get married? And then they're like, oh, this guy.
That's how.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first thing that happens in the shenanigans of them retracing their steps to figure out what was going on is the owner of the dorm room, or the resident of the dorm room, returns.
And pepper sprays Ezra.
Al.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully.
And she's basically like, this is insane. I'm calling the cops. Get the fuck out.
They run away.
Yeah.
We
meet her again later.
Yeah, we meet her again later. You've never been pepper sprayed, right?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Why would we, though?
I imagine it's terrible.
Yeah. Ezra does a lot of crying in this book.
Yeah. He's pretty tightly wound also.
Extremely tightly
wound.
So he gets pepper sprayed, which obviously is not very fun. Their first stop after getting pepper sprayed is the coffee shop on campus. Everything is open New Year's Eve, too.
Yeah. On a college campus, which is not how it works.
No. But whatever.
Yeah.
So they get to the coffee shop and they meet like the barista girl whose name is Joni. She sounds lovely. And they find out that they met last night and he beat her at poker.
Yeah. And this is when we learn Ezra is a card shark.
And
like counts cards.
And has been kicked out of 2 casinos in Las Vegas.
For counting, yeah. And Mimi, his girlfriend, I don't know if we find this out now or a little bit later, but somewhere around here we find out that Mimi has basically banned him from gambling because she had some uncle who like gambled his life savings away and he had to move in with them. And it was this kind of like traumatic thing. And so she has banned him from doing that.
What's really funny about Ezra being a card shark is like the way he talks about it or thinks about it, where he's like, I'm not an addict. I'm just really good at
this.
it.
Yeah.
Like, this is just how my brain works. And I really like being in that like mechanical, I'm counting cards, I'm winning at poker.
Yeah. He's like, I'm good at this and it's fun for me, but I don't have like a gambling problem.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Valid.
Turns out I don't think it's later in the book. We also learn he's not a lawyer. He made a bunch of money selling poker software to Google.
Yeah. Online poker software.
And he's like a bazillionaire.
Yeah.
Secret billionaire.
Yeah. We learned that he did finish law school, but he never took the bar. He did this poker thing instead. So we learned that he beat Joni and presumably some other people at poker.
He opens his wallet and has like $700.
Yeah.
Which maybe he arrived with $700, maybe not. But
possible.
A lot of cash.
Yeah. Then do they go to the bar?
Then they go to the bar.
Yeah, they go to the bar that Ezra's like, I don't remember being at this bar, but Frankie does remember being at the bar. And so she's like, we have to go here. They break in.
A lot of petty crime in this book.
Yes.
A shocking amount of petty crime.
A shocking amount of petty crime in this book.
They bust the window.
For a couple of 30-year-olds.
Yes, they're both 32.
Yeah. So Frankie busts through, like throws a brick through the window or something like that.
Which stores in 99 would have had alarms, right?
Yes, yeah.
It's not that long ago.
Especially on a college campus where property crime is super high.
Yeah. Also, they make it clear that this is the campus bar.
Right.
Is that allowed? Like, it's not like a West Campus bar. It's like the campus bar.
I don't know. I guess some campuses probably aren't dry. I don't know.
Like, UT has the bowling alley where you can buy booze.
And the Cactus Cafe.
Yeah. But, like, it's not where... They talk about how people I'm thinking about this too much, but, like, the campus bar is very lax about IDs.
Yeah.
Which would not work.
Maybe they're referring to it as the campus bar, but maybe it's not literally on campus. Maybe it's just in the general, like...
You might be right. They just kept talking about it being, like, on campus.
Yeah, because there are plenty of bars, like, literally, like, 5 feet from UT campus.
That's
just
true.
Not physically on
Not
the campus.
sanctioned by UT.
Yeah, that I would refer to them as a campus bar. You know?
Okay. I'm not going to think about it anymore. We're moving on.
Yeah. So they break into the bar because they want to look at security footage.
Sure.
Because they're like, this will prove whether we're here or not. Frankie finds security footage. What is Ezra doing while she's watching it?
So Ezra's girlfriend was supposed to fly in the day before and called him and was like, I missed my flight. Or
No.
no, she says her flight was canceled.
Yeah.
Sorry. So she says her flight was canceled, and he was very upset about it the night before.
Yeah.
And so he sneaks into the back room of the bar
Yeah.
and like logs into their computer, like hacks into their
that's
computer.
right. Yeah. To see if the flight ever happened or not.
Yeah. And the flight happened and it was on time.
Yeah. And she was not on it. So this is where Ezra and Mimi's relationship kind of
Starts to crumble.
starts to unravel. So while he's doing that, Frankie's looking through the security footage. She does find proof that they were there,
Mm-hmm.
but does not tell Ezra about it because in the video they were kind of handsy.
Canoodling.
Yeah. And so she kind of starts to remember some things.
Again, Frankie, please go to the hospital.
Yeah, and we learn that this bar is where it is New Year's Day. There are fireworks happening outside. I can literally see them out the window. We're just gonna power through
Yeah.
because we're in a time constraint. So
Yeah, we're on a time constraint for football.
yeah, so if y'all hear the fireworks, I don't know, deal with it.
It's festive.
Yeah. I don't know how loud they're gonna be, but I bet you they will be heard. So
That's what that is.
yeah. I live outside of city limits, so it's legal to shoot off fireworks, and it is fucking chaos.
Last night we had a private fireworks show.
We did.
It was
Kind of cool,
It was kind of cool.
other than my dogs being not okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we learned that Ezra and Frankie originally met at this bar.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of where we start having like these like little flashback
Mm-hmm.
moments. So we learned that they met after Ezra had been dumped or had broken up with some girl, and he was like mourning,
Yeah.
and Frankie was cool and supportive of him or whatever. And so we learned that's how they met. And so
Mhm.
like throughout this entire book, we get these little like vignettes of like, oh, they're in this place, and then now there's a memory that's related to this place. And
Yeah.
that's kind of how the backstory gets told.
Yeah. So the cops arrive at the bar, unsurprisingly.
And Frankie's like, run.
Yeah. They run away.
Yeah,
Sure.
fine. Then they go to the library.
They go behind the dorm they used to live in.
Right,
That's
right,
another
right.
memory of
Yeah,
like
the
Frankie's,
alley.
Yeah, Frankie's birthday. So yeah, we're learning little pieces of their relationship where Frankie was also kind of like tightly wound in college, where she really wanted to break away from who she was as a child living in New York City, where she was this like piano prodigy, and she was like a trust fund kid, I think she says at
Mhm.
one point. And like her parents had her at age 20, so they didn't really want to be parents and didn't get along. And Frankie's mom started banging her piano teacher.
Yeah,
So that's not great.
not great.
So Frankie's a little messy.
Yeah, got some commitment issues and
Yeah.
some other things going on.
Ezra's mom, meanwhile, has cancer, and so he's also dealing with that in college.
Yeah, in the present day, she has passed.
yeah.
But in the college flashbacks, many of them, she's alive but struggling with cancer.
They get in an argument too,
Yeah,
and
I mean they're basically fighting the whole fucking day.
they are kind of insufferable.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned this. They hate each other.
Yeah,
They hate each other because they broke up and each of them blames the other.
right.
And so what I did, and we can talk about this more later, but what I did really like about the kind of introspective nature of this book, because normally I wouldn't like a book that happens so much in the characters' own heads and not much outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I liked about the use of that in this book was that we got to kind of witness them going through this like journey of realizing that that things basically aren't always what they appear or
Yeah.
what you assume that they are,
Yeah,
which is kind of a cool thing to do in a book where you're kind of doing that with them.
Yeah, I think that's a hard thing to pull off too. And I was kind of thinking this while I was reading the book, where it was like Frankie and her thought process in like the way she approaches things, like she seems very self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
she seems more self-aware than Ezra seems.
Yes.
And Ezra throughout the book is kind of journeying to more self-awareness of like, oh, maybe this is not the life I want to live. Whereas Frankie is like very aware of like why she lives her life the way she does, where she like lives in LA. She is not in a relationship. She's pretty like nomadic with the band. And she is like very aware, I think, of why she's that way. She's not, I mean, she's not like, I think she knows it's not a good thing, but she's not interested in fixing it either.
Exactly, yeah. And her kind of personal journey in this book is more like, kind of like, I need to start taking responsibility for my shit.
Yeah.
And not like blaming other people for stuff that I also have a hand in, basically.
That's a good way to put it. Frankie very much like has a chip on her shoulder of like, this was all Ezra's fault of like why we broke up, because he like never really understood me. He just wanted to fix me.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And Ezra kind of feels similarly about Frankie and their breakup, except it's not as deep as that. It's basically just like we learn eventually that Ezra proposed to Frankie at the end of college, basically, because Frankie was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And Frankie says no and is like, what the fuck? Like, shouldn't you know me well enough to know that, like, this is not even remotely what I want? And she kind of unceremoniously just tells him to fuck off.
Yeah.
And so Ezra basically puts the entire blame of the breakup on her, because he's like, why'd she do that?
Yeah.
Basically. Like, she said no.
Yeah. I found Frankie really interesting as a character. I really didn't like her in the beginning, but as we were reading the book, I felt like I started to understand her a lot more, and I felt like I was relating to her a bit more too.
Yeah.
Like, there is one thing I highlighted where I can't remember where it is in the book, but it's, you know, kind of, I think she's kind of thinking about how she grew up or in college or something. And then it says, not because she didn't make mistakes, but for her, life was a forward, fluid motion. Looking back meant unearthing her pain, and she had never been in the business of trading on pain. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. There are a lot. I flagged a lot of stuff in this book because there's some really, honestly, kind of meta like things that the characters are thinking that is like, it's almost breaking the fourth wall a little bit, because it's almost like this is what's happening in the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, again, if you had told me about that, I wouldn't have think that I would have liked it, but it worked.
This was a polarizing book I found looking through Goodreads.
Yeah.
Some people really liked it and some people really didn't like it. And I understand why.
Yes. I think I float somewhere in the middle of like, did I love like the plot and the characters necessarily? Not super really. I don't really understand why they ended up together in the end, to be honest with you.
Right.
I don't think these people should be together. No. And I also think that it was very rushed. But I thought like the format and the concept of the book was really interesting, and I thought the writing was good.
I really liked a lot of the prose. I thought it was really good. I thought it was very introspective in a way that didn't feel super self-important.
Yeah. Or like cheesy.
No, I think it was like very straightforward in a way that I appreciate from a book that is so much in the characters' heads of like them kind of therapying themselves during this really weird day. Mm-hmm. Like I think at one point too, like I didn't highlight it, I should have though. Frankie is thinking about herself in college, or the writer is describing her in college, and it's saying something like Frankie could have been misinterpreted as being wildly spontaneous, but no, she was just volatile. And that's like being a reaction of her environment and like reacting against her environment and kind of this rebellion, but also her being very tightly wound. They talk about her being very rigid despite her nomadic lifestyle that like looks very like cool and carefree and whatnot, but like it is very rigid, and like she does live by this set of rules that is in reaction to how she grew up with, you know, parents who didn't love each other, who put a lot of pressure on her to be the thing that was keeping them together.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was a really interesting like you said, kind of format of like this book didn't really feel like a romance.
No, not at all. Not to me, really. Which I think is why I felt weird that they ended up together, because I was like, I feel like that's not how this should have gone.
I agree.
And I don't know if they, like, I don't know if this was marketed as a romance necessarily. Like, I don't super know. But it felt to me, and there were even points that I was like, are they going to break up at the end? Or are they going to, like, not break up, but, like, not get together? And I was kind of disappointed when they did.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, kind of like, as we said, this book is very introspective. And so there's, like, not a lot happening. It's just them, like, piecing things together. So to sum it all up, basically, they were taking part in this scavenger hunt for the rehearsal dinner. I can't remember if we've said this already.
Yeah, they were doing a scavenger hunt. They had teamed up. They were a team, the two of them.
Yeah, they got paired together. They didn't do this on purpose.
And they kind of teamed up with another pair.
Yeah, so they end up at the ice rink, driving
a Zamboni
through the ice rink wall and through the door,
which is how Frankie's concussion occurred.
She slipped on the ice.
Yeah. So they go to the library, which is closed, but Zoe, the girl who lives in the dorm that they woke up in, works there and is like, fine, you weirdos, I'll let you in.
Yeah, she lets Ezra in because he's looking for his phone. This was before they go to the ice rink.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole thing started. It's in the library. That's where the rehearsal dinner was.
Yeah.
So he's going to look for his phone, doesn't find his phone. Zoe, like, calls him out on, like, not taking responsibility for everything that happened, because he's also in this boat of, like, this is Frankie's fault. She's so chaotic.
Right.
Like, I can't believe I'm here with her. And Zoe's like, you're full of shit. This is also your fault.
Yeah, you were blackout drunk, you dummy.
Yeah. Zoe's great.
Yeah.
We love her.
Yeah, I really love her. And I love the guy who works at the library.
Bruno.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Then they go to the ice rink. Then they realize what had kind of happened. Then they had gone to the bar to get ice for Frankie's head and their other friend who broke his nose at the ice rink. Their other friend who drove the Zamboni has since disappeared and never appears again.
Never comes back. He's the one that was supposed to officiate the wedding, too.
Yeah, he's just gone.
Yeah, someone else gets emergency ordained to do the wedding. So, like, hope he's okay.
He, like, fled to Canada or Mexico or somewhere.
Yeah, he's like, these people are too fucking crazy. I'm out.
Well, he drove the Zamboni through the wall.
Yeah.
So, really, it was his fault.
That's true.
He fled from his consequences.
Yes, exactly. So they went to the bar.
And then at the bar, Garland? No, that's not his name.
Gregory.
My God.
I don't know.
It's Gregory.
I was like, who the fuck are you even talking about?
I don't know who I'm talking about.
Ezra's friend, Gregory.
Ezra's friend, Gregory, who was with them through the scavenger hunt, told Ezra, hey, they're playing poker at this bar called the Waverly. You should go. And Ezra's like, no, I'm not allowed. And Gregory's like, no, do it. And then Frankie's like, yeah, let's go. I want to see how good you are at poker.
Mm-hmm.
So they go play poker. That's how Ezra ended up with the ring.
Because he wins some grad student's wedding ring off of him.
Which, this is actually a very funny moment. Because the grad student's like, Ezra's being a dick about it and like puts it on.
Yeah.
And the grad student's like, you don't have to be a dick. And he's like, yeah, but it's really fun to be a dick. And I'm like, I like this Ezra.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Exactly.
Like, he's being really cocky because he is really good at poker.
Right.
And Frankie and him had made this bet that if Ezra won, which he was like, I'm going to win, I'm not going to lose, then you have to play piano for me.
Yeah.
Because she never plays piano. And so then after he won. Then they had gone to the piano hall, which is sponsored by Steinway.
Yeah.
I got questions, but whatever. Frankie plays piano for him, and then they are like kind of reminiscing, and she puts on the engagement ring that was initially meant for her. And they're just kind of like, they kind of apologize to each other.
Yeah, they kind of have this moment where they're like, wouldn't it be nice if we had made it work?
Yeah. And then they break into the dorm.
Yeah.
And so that was the whole
night
before.
That
happened.
Yeah. So the whole day is them just kind of bopping around to these different places, piecing together this information.
So then we all catch up at the wedding, and Mimi shows up.
Yeah.
Mimi arrives. we learn Mimi is a shoplifter.
Yeah. Ezra's friend Gregory is like, I saw her stealing stuff at like CVS or
Kmart.
Yes, that's what
Of
it
all
was.
places.
Of course
Kmart.
it was Kmart. This book is in the 90s.
Yeah.
Stealing,
shoving
she's
a
like
ton of
stealing,
shit in her
like
purse.
lipsticks and stuff like that.
Yeah. And Gregory's like, I don't like Mimi. She's
in the Hamptons, right? In the Hamptons. They were in the Hamptons, yeah. So Gregory tells Frankie this, but then doesn't tell Ezra until later.
Yeah.
But eventually tells him.
So Ezra is like ready to go through with his plan that he's going to propose to Mimi and whatnot.
Even though he still doesn't have the ring back.
No.
But he's like, I'm still going to ask her. I'm still going to do the thing.
Yeah. Frankie gets the ring off and is like, she does a good job of like being a bridesmaid. And then at the reception, they like confront each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they argue. Frankie gives him the ring back. Gregory tells Ezra that Mimi's a shoplifter.
And Ezra's kind of like, he's upset, but he's also like, okay, so she stole some lipsticks. Like, is this that big of a deal?
Yeah. Mimi is upset that he was with Frankie all day.
Valid.
She runs off to the library. Ezra catches up with her, confronts her about why she wasn't on the flight. Because she stole some earrings from Neiman Marcus.
Yeah, and she was detained by, like, fucking mall cops or whatever. And that's why she missed her flight.
Yeah, and then he's also like, I also heard about Kmart. And she's like, so I stole some lipsticks. And then he's like, I was going to propose. And she's like, you still can. And he's like,
yeah, and he's like, absolutely not.
I can't.
Yeah.
Frankie simultaneously realizes that she should start taking responsibility for her actions, which is a good place to land in general.
Yeah, and she's like, she comes to Ezra and is basically like, no, let me pursue you for once and like let me do the emotional work, which is also nice.
Yes.
Ezra, meanwhile, has like a nervous breakdown. He's like just angry at everyone.
Yeah. Yes. This man needs therapy.
Yeah. This book I also think was just an interesting kind of exploration of how different people react to
different
like
crises.
Right, exactly. Because like Ezra gets super angry, Frankie like processes or whatever, you know. So that was interesting. Yeah, and then they get back together.
They get back together at midnight after basically
hating each other for a decade.
And then immediately like, actually, we love each other.
Yeah, that was the only part of this book that I was like, Yeah. The rest of it, I genuinely enjoyed the book. Was it my favorite ever? No. But like, I liked it and was having a good time. And then I was just, it's not that they got together. It didn't make sense. Like,
no. I feel like it could have been spoilers for Unsinkable Greta James. Skip ahead, I don't know, a minute.
If you don't want those.
But a book that came out a couple years ago that I really enjoy. That's kind of a romance. Anyway, they don't get together at the end.
Right.
And it's very like open-ended of like there's a possibility they could, but they also might not.
Yeah. But I don't think Greta James was like marketed as a romance.
No.
And I think this book might have been.
Yes.
And it
potentially.
It makes me wonder if that was always the ending.
That's a good question.
But
I could see this book ending with them not together.
Yeah.
And then reconnecting like a year later or something. And then maybe like, I don't know, building a friendship again for a couple months and then being like, let's try again.
Right.
But an immediate, we have almost no recollection of this one good night we spent together. Let's get back together is nuts.
Yeah. It's not, it just doesn't make sense to the story, I feel like. So
yeah, this was a book that I think in the middle of it, I wasn't sure if I was enjoying or not, but I really liked how it was written.
Yeah, same.
Like I really, like Frankie grew on me as a character, or I at least like felt like I was really starting to understand her.
Mm-hmm.
And could, like I had said earlier, really kind of relate to what she was doing with her life in response to previous things.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I wasn't like the plot and the characters, fine, whatever. But I think the main reason I liked this book was because of the formatting and the writing.
Yeah, I think another, like, I don't know. I don't want to use the word gripe, but everyone felt extremely thin character-wise besides Frankie and Ezra, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I was thinking about this morning, like I almost feel like, and I'm going to have a hard time like putting this into words, so this might be a little word salady coming out, but like I feel like almost this felt like one of those books that was kind of about the reader's journey reading it more than it was about what was happening in the book. Because I felt like it was like the underlying message of the book was very blatant. It was like, you know, A, memories are faulty. B, things are not always what they seem. And like you have to take responsibility for things that you've done. But also realize that like not everyone's out to get you, basically. Yeah. Or like just because someone hurt you doesn't mean that like it's only on them, basically, you know, necessarily. And so I think it felt to me like this book was more about, let me teach you this like life lesson through this story rather than about the story itself. Yeah. Which I don't mind.
No, it's just,
if it's well done, and it was.
No, I think so too. It's just kind of a weird experience reading it.
Yeah, this was really unlike any book that I've ever read, but I did genuinely like it because it reminded me a lot of, you know, John Green talks a lot about his like overall like message in life is that we should imagine other people complexly, right? Like people are people. They're not like ideas. They're not like these larger than life, you know, kind of like things that we build them up to be in our heads or whatever. Yeah. Like they're people and they're messy and they're complex and like the world would be a better place if we imagine them that way and if we understand that that's the case. And I feel like this book was very in tune to that sort of messaging, which is something that I think a lot about because it is something that John Green talks about so much. And it was something that like when I read Looking for Alaska for the first time when I was like 16 or whatever, 14, 15, I don't know. I was like mind blown. Like my like teenage brain was like, whoa, like I'd never heard it put so like I guess like blatantly like that.
Yeah, like people are messy.
Yeah.
And that everybody is messy.
Exactly.
Like people are people.
Yeah.
It's also that, I mean, that for sure. And then also the idea of, I guess, like a very complex like self-awareness. And also the same kind of thing of like, you can't hold people to standards they don't know about.
Exactly.
Which is something that I think I've learned a lot as an adult.
Right.
Of like, I mean, like you were saying, like you can't hold people up on a pedestal.
Right.
You can't make them an idea.
Exactly.
People are people.
Yeah.
But then I don't think I've ever read it. Like you said, I don't think I've ever read a book like this where it's like Frankie is so problematic at times, like, but she's so self-aware. And I think that's so hard to pull off in a character.
Right. It felt really genuine.
Yeah.
It didn't come off as like cringy or cheesy or anything like that.
Which I think is something that would normally come off extremely cringy to me not to get like too into the weeds about this because I could talk about like self-awareness for a long time, but I had a really interesting conversation with Austin's sister about like how self-aware like anybody is. And some people are just like through nobody's fault or pros or whatever, like it's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I think it's a good thing to be self-aware, but like some people are just not as naturally self-aware as other people are. I almost have the detriment of being somebody who is so self-aware. I am crippled by my own self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's something I've talked about a lot, even on this podcast. But
Mm-hmm.
we just had a really interesting conversation about it. Like, what does it look like when you are somebody who is so self-aware that you get in your own way?
Right.
And just, like, sometimes it looks like acceptance of just, like, this is how I am and I'm not going to fix it because I know why I'm doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just, I'm so self-aware, I am also so self-conscious.
Right.
To my own detriment of, like, I am so self-aware that I'm going to judge myself later for these things.
Right.
How am I going to break out of that cycle?
Right.
So.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So Frankie as a character reminded me a lot of kind of those conversations and the way I think about kind of my own. It was also like finding out not everybody has an internal monologue.
Yeah.
Which is something I think about all the time.
Yeah.
Is like not everybody constantly has like chatter in their brain.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like learning I mean, kind of like we've been talking about. We're kind of talking. Well, I'm talking in circles, really. But it's like learning about more and more about how people are not ideas. People are people. And that looks so different person to person.
Yeah.
And my self-awareness is not your self-awareness, or my internal monologue is not your internal monologue.
Yeah, and also, like, the idea that everyone's just generally doing their best.
Yeah.
And that looks different for everyone.
Yeah.
And it looks different day to day. Like, my best today is not the same as my best tomorrow.
Right.
You know, like, we're all just working with
what we've got at the moment.
Exactly. And so I think this book was kind of that for me. And, like, I'm not going to get into this too much, but like as someone who not long ago had a conversation with someone that I was with when I was younger that it ended really poorly, that was kind of the realization that came out of that conversation with him. Was I was like, because I didn't realize we had both just been blaming each other the entire time.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that he was blaming me.
Yeah.
And we had this conversation where he was like, you did this, this, and this. And I was like, oh my God, I did. And maybe I didn't remember that I did that, or maybe I didn't realize that it was like something negative or whatever. But I think another reason that I liked this book was that it just felt really similar to that conversation that I had with him, and that kind of like personal, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Realization?
Yeah, realization. It's another word, but whatever. Like the epiphany, this kind of epiphany that I had of like, oh, we both really just kind of were doing what we felt like we needed to do at the time and hurt each other, and we fucked up.
Yeah. And
I think that's the other reason that I'm mad that they ended up together in this book, because it just, maybe because I was putting too much of my own situation onto the page, but it just didn't feel, it felt like one of those things that you just like look at each other, you shrug, and you're like, man, we both fucked up. Too bad.
Yeah.
Like, things would have been different if we hadn't, but they're not. So like, let's move on with our lives.
Realizing that you were like each other's collateral damage and trying to figure out your own life, and like the reward is not ending up together.
No, the reward is being like, man, my life could have looked really different had I not done this stupid thing.
Yeah.
But like, I did, so here we are.
Now I know, and now I have a better understanding of, one, of myself.
Right.
And maybe why I did those things.
Right.
And two, of this other person, and maybe why they did those things, and why it hurt me this way, or why it didn't, or whatever. Like,
yeah. And a better understanding of my life now and my life then. It wasn't like a wistful, like, wow, if we hadn't fucked up, we could have been together. It was like if we hadn't fucked up, we could have been together. But like, We're not. So,
and there are reasons for that.
Yeah. Have a good life.
Yeah. Like, yeah. It's like the only time in a romance we've rooted for them not to get together.
I know, honestly.
Quote unquote romance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, was this marketed as a romance?
Don't know.
Possibly. We'll look again.
Yeah.
But doesn't
Oh, yeah. It says Berkeley Romance on the spine.
Okay, well, I would not classify it as romance.
No, me neither. But I did. Again, did I like love this book? No, but like I will be thinking about it for a while.
Exactly. I think the same. Like
Yeah.
in the middle of it, I was like, am I having fun reading this? But there were definitely like pieces of it that really jumped out to me prose wise that I really, really liked.
Yeah, there are definitely, I put little Post-it flags in, and there are definitely things that I'll go back to when I'm, thinking about this topic or this book for sure. And yeah, did I enjoy reading it? Not necessarily, but am I glad that I read it? Yes.
This was not like a frothy, like fun New Year's Eve. This was like a melancholy, introspective.
Which, if
New
you
Year's
think
Eve.
about it, might have also been kind of the point
Yeah.
of like, this is the time of year that we're thinking about shit like this. So here's a book about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
To sum all that up.
yeah, I think I would recommend this book with an asterisk.
I would recommend it also with an asterisk of like, this is not like, it's very funny at points.
Yeah.
Like there are silly, goofy things that happen.
Yeah, hijinks.
Hijinks for sure.
Yeah.
But this is when you kind of go into of like, let's think about self-awareness. Let's think
Exactly.
about therapy and hurting people and whatnot and like different perspectives and people are people.
Yeah.
And what that looks like. And so
yeah. So I did like it. I'm glad we read it. But yeah, it was a little headier than I was expecting.
yeah. Me too.
Yeah. Not in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way. I think it just caught me off guard.
Same.
I thought it was going to be silly and fun.
Yeah, me too. But it was kind of nice because I read so much Christmas trash the last few weeks. And I mean like trash. So it was nice to have something that made me think.
That's good.
I read a book called Big Nick Energy.
Stop.
Which was pretty fun, actually. It was stupid. It was one of those little, like, you finish it in an hour or whatever.
Right.
Like, frothy. It was Kindle Unlimited, like, whatever. We were talking about this before we hit record. I put a lot of pressure on what my first book that I read of the year is. So what, and you don't. So what is yours?
No, I don't.
Or what are you reading / what are you going to read? Because I haven't picked anything up yet.
No, I started Wreck the Halls after I picked it up at Ripped Bodice while I was in New York. Shout out to Ripped Bodice. It was a wonderful experience.
Good place.
Great place. Loved it. So I picked that up. Will I finish it? I don't know. I'm like 150 pages in, and now I'm kind of like, now I'm past Christmas. I'm kind of over Christmas in general. Like, I'm ready to move on with my life. So I feel like I probably won't finish it, and that's fine.
It was not the best. I'll never say a bad word about Tessa Bailey, but it's like a silly, frothy Christmas, like romp.
I'm like ready to like put the tree away and like be done with all of it. So
yeah, maybe try to pick it up again
next year.
Yeah. That book also to me did not feel super Christmassy.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it just like happened to have taken place around Christmas. It wasn't like a big part of it.
And I am also like, why is this book taking place during Christmas?
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I felt about it too.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm not like, I need to finish Whale Fall.
Yeah.
Which I feel like once I finish it is going to end up being one of my favorite books. It's very short chapters. It's like a good exploration of like grief and like complicated grief. And it's a book about a guy who gets eaten by a whale accidentally. I talked about it last episode because I've been working on it for forever.
Yeah.
And I need to just
I have
focus.
it on my library.
I think you'll really
list.
like it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I wonder if you're waiting on me. So,
it's possible.
That would be funny.
I might be. I don't remember if I'm on the wait list for the Austin Library or the Houston one.
That would be funny if you're waiting on me, though.
Yeah, that would be funny.
But I think once I finish it, I think it's going to be one of those books I think about for a long time. And I'm really enjoying it in the way that I enjoyed the rewind of like, it's making me think. Like, it's about grief. Like, it's not fun, but I'm also learning a lot about diving. So...
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because the whole it's like a dual timeline kind of thing too, where the present day is him diving to his father committed suicide, and he's looking for his body or a piece of his body.
Right, trying to find some kind of remains.
So he's diving down.
Interesting.
Trying to find some of his remains, and that's how he gets eaten by a whale.
Interesting.
And I also didn't realize he's 17.
Oh shit.
I thought it was like when I was
grown man.
When I was listening to the interview, I thought it was like a proper adult, but no, it's like a 17, 18-year-old processing his father's suicide.
Interesting.
And his relationship with him, and then he gets eaten by a whale.
Interesting.
So,
well,
anyway,
I think I actually already did pick it up. I just haven't started it yet. I was thinking a lot about Looking for Alaska yesterday because of this book. And I also saw a TikTok about it, which was really weird because I was like, this is like a 20-some-odd-year-old book.
Yeah.
I think it's a 20-year-old book.
It's an old book.
Yeah, it's an old book. It came out when I was like in middle school or high school or something. So I was thinking about it a lot yesterday. And then last night before I went to bed, I saw a TikTok about it. And I was like, well, there we go. So I pulled out my copy, which is so battered that the cover has been taped back on multiple times.
I love that.
And it's covered in like highlights and underlines and stuff from over the years. I got it. It's a first edition. I got it when I was 16. It's signed by John. It says to Katey.
Wow.
But yeah, I think I'm going to pick that up again because I've been thinking about it since we read this book.
Ooh, you're making me want to reread it too.
It's a great book.
I haven't reread it in a while, and that was also one of those books that I read. I think I read Fault in Our Stars. I think was my first John Green book because that came out when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody was like, freaking
yeah, it was
out.
huge. It was a huge book,
and it ruined my life.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And then of course, I went back and read Looking for Alaska and Paper Towns and what's the other one?
Catherine's, An Abundance of Catherine's.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Yeah, it's not the best one.
But Looking for Alaska, I think, ended up being my favorite. And I also have a signed Looking for Alaska.
Yeah. It's my. I think if you ask me what my favorite book is, I would still say Looking for Alaska. All these years later.
Yeah, same thing like you were talking about. It is. I think that was something I latched onto a lot of books I was reading as a kid. Like I remember reading Harry Potter and learning about, in like fourth grade or whatever, like people are complicated.
Right.
Especially in like Half-Blood Prince when he fucking maims Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
That was a big like, oh, people are complicated moment in my childhood. But yeah, Looking for Alaska was like very formative in that and also like, wow, there's drugs in this book.
Yeah. Drugs and
they talk about sex,
blowjobs,
yeah,
cigarettes,
and and also running around and pulling pranks and also really complicated stuff. Yeah,
it's a delightful, terrible book.
Excellent book. Is it fun? Not all the time.
No, it's not. I also am like, am I emotionally?
Are you ready to read that?
Ready to read this book because I've also been wanting to reread his last YA book. That I can't fucking remember. Turtles All the Way Down.
Oh, yeah.
Which that did. That's the only John Green book I have never reread because the main character lives with like really severe OCD and anxiety. And it's a troubling, like it's upsetting because it is also like super self-aware. And like when Sydney finished it, she was like, I felt like I was able to like understand you a little more, and I was like, ooh, ouch. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know about ouch,
but yeah, like, so that's the only one I've been thinking about picking it up again, but
I haven't read that one yet.
I have it over there if you want it.
I actually might.
But yeah, it's upsetting, but it's very good. And now he's writing a book about tuberculosis.
Womp.
Yeah. Which I have also learned a lot about tuberculosis from him talking about it a lot recently. This is the episode where I reveal myself as like a giant fangirl of John Green.
I forget about it sometimes, and then you'll start talking about it. I'm like, oh, that's right.
I watch those YouTube videos twice a week for the last 15 years or whatever, 14 years.
Look, love John Green. I'm not going to fault you for that whatsoever.
Yep.
Love that guy.
Love the Brothers Green.
Yep.
All right. Well, we will see y'all next time.
Hopefully we're happy.
Yep, the game starts in about a half hour, so I'm going to go throw up.
Happy New Year!
Bye!